Today on the 1960 Chevy, it's time to shoot the dash. We're going to use an epoxy primer on this to seal it really good. And then it's going to be a different shade of blue, like a turquoise, a dark turquoise. I'm also going to finish pour 15 the floors. The floor pans have been installed and sealed. Over here, we have all the reveal and the trim, etc. that's going to go inside the car. And of course, we have to shoot all that too. So we're going to shoot this with the epoxy primer this morning. And then we're going to shoot it with the top coat 2 days from now. All this has been sanded and prepped. And I think it's going to look really cool. Stay tuned. I use a little reducer in my gun to get set up beforehand. Get a nice pattern just like that. Let's start shooting. Okay, so here we have the results of step 1. 2 coats of epoxy primer. Epoxy primer has a little bit of build to it. That means it builds up and you can sand it nice. So that's what we're going to do. After we'll sand it lightly down to like maybe 320 or so. And then put the top coat on. So it's going to look really cool. Over here, we have all the inside trim parts. Got a little shadow in the sun here. And we shot all these up today. And the same thing applies to these. We're going to sand them down nice and put the top coat on. I'm going to let these cure for a full 48 hours to get really, really, really dry. Because these don't really, I shouldn't use the word dry, it cures. It's a 2-part epoxy. So you have a hardener and you have a base. So we're going to let this set up really good. And then we'll do the top coat. Stay tuned. Today on the 1960 Chevy, we shot the dashboard with the top coat. Came out really nice. What I need to do with this is wet sand it and either hit it with clear or a top coat of wax, one or the other. Haven't decided which way to go with that. I'll experiment on a few pieces. And the finished floor with the new floor pans, sealed, welded, and treated with pour 15. So there you have it. And also, under the dash, it's all gutted out and treated with pour 15 as well, because it's getting new insulation and vintage air. So this car is going to be a cool car, literally. Stay tuned. Everybody that does this knows that prepping a steering wheel is a time-consuming pain in the ass. But to do it right, what you're going to do is you're going to grind out all the cracks. I use a Dremel tool until they're a nice V. Again, this is the finished product here before paint. You can see those stripes. Those are all where there were cracks. You fill them in. And you're going to hand sand this down with 180. Then you're going to sand it again with 320. The product I used to fill the cracks was this PC7. It actually comes in a steering wheel kit. I use this on other steering wheels, and they've held up the test of time. So therefore, we're going to use it on this one as well. I like to super fill in the stress corners here where these things like to crack a lot because of the stress that's on them. You just take your time, do a nice job, prep it up nice. I'm going to shoot it with epoxy primer to seal it up really good, and then put a top coat and a clear on it. Stay tuned. So today on the 1960 Chevrolet, we've come to a major league turning point. The dash is painted and reassembled. We have installed vintage air. As you saw in a previous video, or the earlier part of this, that we replaced the floor pans and sealed them all up. And I installed sound deadener and taped it up just so it doesn't slide around. Not supposed to use glue on these, just use a little gravity, and the HVAC tape will keep it from sliding around. I like to insulate the trunk from the back seat. The factory does it, but not in such a great way. This is the insulation they use on HVAC ductwork. Works excellent. I put it in with the sealing tape, and then the pressure from the back seat will keep it fast in here. Installed rear seat belts. Everything is where it belongs. We are ready to install the carpet and the seats. Yippee. So today is the day that we finished the 1960 Chevy. Rebuilt engine. Added vintage air. The compressor is cycling. My pressures are normal. I checked them. Updated it to a modern alternator with internal regulator. Good improved radiator. She runs nice and smooth. No tappets. Nothing evil going on here. Got to put the hood on. We'll get Mama to help me with that. On the inside, we have our completely refurbished interior. I have a blanket back there so I don't bake the package tray. And we're just about ready to take her out for a ride, which she has not been out on yet. So I'm thinking we're going to be good here. Stay tuned. Oh, and one other thing, ice cold air conditioning. It's nice and cold in here. Now, stay tuned.